What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel here from the GeekSpeakNation channel, and we're here to welcome you all to the 5th episode of the weekly Geekly podcast, hosted by myself and, of course, the other half of the greatest hosts, I guess, ever, Will Strickland.
Heyo.
Okay.
What?
So, in case this is your first time watching the show and you don't know how things go, it goes a little something like this. Will and I are going to have 2 topics each this week, and we're going to trade off one after another. And if you're watching this throughout the week, each topic will be broken up and released with the full episode linked in the description. So with that, guys, let's get right into it, because Comic-Con was this week, and boy, did I have a bunch of trailers to react to.
Yes, sir, you did.
It was disgusting. But I made it through. I made it out alive. And, of course, there were so many announcements that came out from Marvel and DC and so many other things. But first, I wanted to talk about what was going on in the world of TV. So I'm just kind of listed off, for me personally, what were the biggest things to talk about. So, first up, we have Marvel's Luke Cage, which is going to be their next Netflix series, which is going to premiere September 30th, I believe. And so, we're getting our first leading black superhero on a TV show. So, this is going to be pretty awesome. And then after that, we have Iron Fist, which they showed a little teaser of, but it didn't really give much information on. Defenders, which is going to be the big team up between Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and I believe Punisher will make an appearance. That's going to be happening. They had a little teaser for that. And then we have information about The Flash Season 3, which drops this fall, and boy, does Flashpoint look interesting. Now, it's not as interesting as it is in the comic books, where, you know, it's all out war and chaos, but hey, Barry's girlfriend doesn't remember him. That's pretty edgy. And then finally, DC's Legends of Tomorrow is going to be introducing the Justice Society and the Legion of Doom. Now, for all you sweaty nerds out there who are like me, know that that is some deep cuts when it comes to the cloth known as nerdism. And so that's some really awesome information, and that the fact that we're actually going to be getting the Justice Society, which is the precursor to the Justice League, on a TV show is pretty darn amazing. Those were really the biggest things from TV for me that really popped out.
I did see, I believe it was movies. What was it? Black Panther with Michael B. Jordan. Is he playing Black Panther? Is that what it is?
No, he is playing the villain in Black Panther.
Okay. No, yeah, that is a movie, and you'll get into that. I didn't want to get too far into it. But yeah, that was something cool I saw, that information about that.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing to look out for is definitely Luke Cage. I think Marvel's Netflix series have been amazing so far, and Luke Cage just looks like it's just going to continue that tradition.
Yeah, I think Netflix, I mean, they really have some incredible original programming. I haven't watched, and I don't even know what it is. I've just heard my friends talk about it, that Stranger Things series.
Oh, that show's good.
On Netflix, yeah. I mean, Netflix has really opened up this opportunity for these concepts that haven't found a place on network television to really thrive, like these, and it's brought back dead shows and given them new life. It's started new IPs. I think Netflix and Amazon Prime's doing it and Hulu's doing it. I think having these streaming services with the original broadcasting, I think that kind of adds a little more pressure to cable networks, who should be pressured into having more genuinely enjoyable content.
Because honestly, we really are in the golden age of television. And it started with shows like, you know, The Wire and Breaking Bad, and now we have so many great shows to look forward to. We of course we have our superhero TV shows, but I mean, great things like Stranger Things are out, and Preacher, a lot of just great programming coming out of television.
And The Walking Dead's coming back in October. I saw some trailers out of Comic-Con for that, which looked pretty good.
That is true.
Although
I don't watch it.
It's okay. I was really mad at the season finale, so I'm still a little bitter. But you know, it's still a good show, I guess. I've only watched every episode twice. So yes.
Yeah, I gave up halfway through season 5.
Oh really, dude?
I couldn't keep going on. It was just like, it's so much literal walking and just so many unnecessary conflicts.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't do it.
season 5 was pretty strong. I think season 6, the one that just ended, was the best season of the show. It just had a god awful finale. The final 10 minutes of that entire season ruin the rest of the season for me. And anyone who has seen the show knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I just don't think AMC did it very well. I'm trying to speak as spoiler free as possible here. I don't think they.
I understand. I mean, yeah, I know what happens.
Yeah.
Because I looked up the comic book.
Right. Well, that's
book.
the thing. What happens in the comic book was supposed to happen in the season finale.
Right, but they cut it off right
they did
before.
The cliffhanger. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, it's hard to talk about without getting specific, but it was not satisfying at all. It did not close any plots or character developments or anything, which there was definitely a platform to do that at that point, and it should have been done. There should have been some things wrapped up right there, but instead they, as if we're not going to watch the next season, you know, like they were going to lose viewership.
Real quick though, another TV show I want to bring up is an adaptation of a novel, I believe it is, and it's called American Gods. And so essentially the premise of this show, and it's going to be on Showtime, I believe it is, or Stars, one or the other. But essentially the premise of the show is that the old gods, like Norse gods of mythology, like Loki and all these people, are at war with the gods of modern age, such as technology, that whatever people worship today, such as technology and religion, all these things, these gods are going at war, and they're in physical forms, and it's about this guy who's like caught in between that war.
So
I was like, that's
weird.
weird.
Like a physical form of technology? Like, is there a human
I
embodiment?
believe so. I don't know much about the show, but everyone who is like a devout fan of the show is like, yo, this is amazing that they're making this.
Huh. That sounds interesting.
And it's like they're not half-assing it or anything, because Stars, they said this is the most money they've ever put into a TV show before. So they're trying to make it like their Game of Thrones. This is supposed to be their flagship TV show. But yeah, that's all in the world of TV. I just wanted to bring that up.
Nice. Well, damn, I need to know more about that American God show. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So my first story of this episode, it's just something simple, just something that is a really good concept that, especially with how technology is today, I think every convention, I would even venture to say like concerts should start looking at this, even sporting events. But BlizzCon has a virtual ticket that you can purchase. BlizzCon is November 4th through 5th in Anaheim, California. So, of course, not everyone can go. But they offer for $40. You pay for this ticket. And from your computer at home, you can stream all the events, all the press conferences. You get interviews with the dev teams. You're entered into contests. And you get, on demand, you get all that footage available for 3 weeks. And it's only $40. So, of course, you can't match the experience of actually going to these conventions. But this is giving you an opportunity to at least hear the information as it is released. They're nowhere, or they're not even attempting to simulate the convention experience, and I don't think they should, because again, you can't. You have to be there to really get that excitement. But I think it is very smart of them to at least give you the opportunity to hear this information and feel like you're one of the first to hear it, you know, even though nowadays 10 seconds later it'll be tweeted all over the place, but for those 10 seconds you were one of the first people to hear about this information. And they're also offering, if you get this virtual ticket, because when you go to these conventions they usually give you like a goodie bag, you can purchase one of the goodie bags with everything in it. So whatever was in that bag for the people that came, you can buy that stuff. Now granted, it doesn't even necessarily mean that what is in the bag is worth $35. It could be worth $100, could be worth $20. But this is just giving you, like, this is like your only opportunity to really, like, if I had gone, I would have gotten this goodie bag, so let me buy it now. Although it looks like right here, okay, so this is definitely worth $35. It lists what's in the goodie bag, which is cool, because I don't believe a lot of conventions release, like, this is what you're going to get when you walk in. So it's kind of cool that they do this. So in the goodie bag, it has a World of Warcraft faction coaster, a Heroes of the Storm guitar pick keychain, a Hearthstone tablet cleaning cloth, an Overwatch inflatable Reinhardt hammer, a StarCraft 2 Baby Overlord antenna topper, and a Diablo 3 gaming dice set. I'm going to retract my statement. That is not worth $35. But maybe worth 10. But hey, you can say you got it. You know, you can say you got the BlizzCon 2016 goodie bag. So like I said, this isn't anything revolutionary necessarily, but this is just something that every convention at this point for any media should have a virtual ticket like this.
That's interesting, because it's like, we really do, a lot of the times when we buy tickets for things, we pay for exclusivity, especially when it comes to conventions or announcements, conferences or whatever. But I think this is a good system to be implemented, but yeah, you should definitely sweeten the deal if people are doing it virtually. Yeah. Like you said, you can't recreate the atmosphere, which is also what people pay for, the experience of being there with other people.
Because the people that are there, they get to play the new games that are announced. They get to play the updates. They get to physically meet these creators. So that's the part that you can never replicate unless you are actually there. And that's why they're not trying to replicate that. They're not trying to say, download, I mean, maybe they will, but download this demo of this newly announced game and play it like the people who are here are playing it. I don't think that'd be fair to the people that are actually there, because at one point, is it like more worthwhile to just pay the $40 for the virtual ticket versus the hundreds to be there? So I think it's good that they're really trying to separate the tiers that you get with this virtual ticket.
Yeah, I think it's still a good concept, because that'd be great to be able to like pay for, like, I don't know, some like a concert or something like that, like iHeartRadio. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that sporting events could benefit from. I know there's some talk about using VR headsets with sporting events. And I think it's already been, they've been experimenting it with the MLB in a little bit, but they have, like, from my understanding, they have seats set up throughout the stadium that you can choose where to sit, and you put your VR headset on, and it's a 360-degree view live of the game.
That's pretty amazing, because Conan O'Brien had that for whenever he went to Comic-Con. He has the Conan 360.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you're just like, oh. And like, you just get to see inside the auditorium and see inside at all the guests coming along. But yeah, I love when I hear stuff about VR. Yeah. Like hearing about, you know, like taking things to the next level of experiences.
The practical applications of VR.
Right. Yeah. I don't care about your cooking simulator. Yeah. Give me something unique.
No, but even if it was something like, and I definitely foresee the National Park Service doing this, just having someone hike the trail with the VR, with the 360 camera on, you pay $1 and you get to put the VR headset on, you walk the trail. I think that's a very realistic opportunity for them.
That's very interesting. All right. So, moving to something that's equally as interesting. Don't you just love my transitions? Let's talk about the... Thanks. Let's talk about the movie news coming out of Comic-Con 2016. Now, Will, we're going to do it like we did last time, and it's going to be a rapid-fire round with information.
I'll take notes. I'll take notes.
Yep. Hold on to your butts. And so, yeah, when I'm done listing all the things that I found very interesting, we'll talk about whatever caught your eye, and what caught my eye. You know who's wanting all that rubbish.
Sure. Oh, God.
First off, the first trailer for Wonder Woman was dropped, and boy, did the world lose their minds at the first female lead superhero film, and also with a female director sporting that that iconic Zack Snyder gaze, but also it has color. But according to the internet, the color was created by Marvel. Ben Affleck was confirmed to be the director of the Batman solo film, and when he walked across that stage, everyone was so excited, and we just realized how big of a man he really is. Like, seriously, it's disgusting. He needs to stop working out. Steroids are not okay. Justice League also dropped its first footage. Not really a trailer, not really a teaser. It was just footage, but yet if you watched my reaction to it, I nearly dang near cried, and I couldn't contain myself. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had some more plot details revealing spoilers about who Star-Lord's dad is, being played by Kurt Russell, and also that Yondu, portrayed by the guy who had one hand in The Walking Dead, whose name I can't, Mike Rucker, I have to believe. Anyways, he's going to be joining the cast as well, and that Groot will stay a baby throughout the duration of this film, but it's going to be for great comedic and awesome stuff. Moving on to Marvel. Oh, wait, we're already here. Spider-Man Homecoming dropped some footage for the people, and we got to look, well, not us, but the people in Hall H got to look at the entire aspect, or like the feeling of what the film is going to be like. A lot of people comparing it to a John Hughes film, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but with masks and superheroes and all that stuff. And so people really enjoyed the footage, including Tom Holland himself, who was so aghast since he had never seen any of the footage completed. And we also got confirmation that the villain in the film will be the Vulture. Oh no, whatever will we do? And in keeping with their tradition, they connected to the universe, saying that his armor will be made of Chitauri origin after the attack on New York. Moving into Black Panther, we have cast confirmation. Michael B. Jordan is confirmed to be playing the villain, opposed Chadwick Boseman playing as the hero himself of the title that we know and love. He'll be playing the character Eric Killmonger. Boy, if that isn't the villain's name, I don't understand how he starts off as his best friend in the film and will eventually turn on him, as all great best friends do. I'm watching out for you, Will. Also confirmed for the cast was Lupita Nyong'o from 12 Years a Slave and Non-Stop, where she was completely underutilized. But here she will be more than utilized as one of the bad A bodyguards of the King T'Challa himself. And finally, moving on, we have Captain Marvel has been confirmed to be Brie Larson. Yes, that lovely little snowbud in that room that made you cry. Yeah, everyone's excited. Everyone's happy. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the rapid fire news that I really want to bring up about films.
Marvel is popping off, dude.
They really are. But I have to say, though, DC fired some shots back, because the trailer for Wonder Woman and for Justice League were amazing. I think the trailer for Wonder Woman is one of the best trailers I've seen in years. It's amazing.
That's interesting that it's like the old-fashioned Marvel vs. DC comics is just now the same battle, but just with movies. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool to see that there's still like that friendly but not friendly competition,
Right.
Like kind of firing back at each other. I mean, it's only benefiting us.
Yeah, because everyone was like, well, who won Comic-Con? Was it Marvel or DC? But like literally this year, it was like, oh my God, everybody won. The fact that we're getting a Luke Cage TV show, we're getting a Batman solo film with Ben Affleck, we're getting the Justice League next year. Mm-hmm. Like this is, it's an amazing time to be a nerd.
Okay, question. I did not see Batman vs. Superman. Yes. I have seen The Dark Knight. And I love Christian Bale's performance as Batman. I thought he was incredible. Mm-hmm. Now, in Batman vs. Superman, are they trying to be the same Batman character in terms of comparing the acting and the performance of the two? Are they on par with each other? Is one noticeably better than the other? Who's the better Batman?
Oof. Will, dirty question. This was a difficult question for me, because when I saw the first cut of the film, the theatrical cut, the film that was put out in movies, I said that Christian Bale's Batman was better because he was so driven by his moral code. Because the Batman in Batman v Superman, he is a better fighter. Mm-hmm. He is debatably better tech. We don't really see much tech. But to me, like, overall, like, Ben Affleck's Batman would literally kill Christian Bale's Batman and eat him. Like, it's disgusting how just, like, vicious he is. But what I loved about Christian Bale's Batman was his moral code and that he stuck to it, and that drove his character. Mm-hmm. But after watching Ben Affleck's performance in the full, unaltered 3-hour version of Batman v Superman, I'm going to have to go with Ben Affleck, because there's something about the way he portrays Bruce that's completely different. And there's something broken about Ben Affleck's portrayal of Bruce Wayne that goes way deeper than Christian Bale's performance. I think the pain of Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne was only skin deep as compared to how tortured the Batman is in Ben Affleck's portrayal.
Now, does Ben Affleck do a Batman voice?
It's a mix between that and he actually has a voice modulator.
Oh.
which is actually
So
smart.
Batman's suit is more of like a mech Iron Man-esque than a Christian.
No, it's
than a
actually
Christian
not.
Bale.
It's actually more like the comic books, to where it's like it's more of a fiber. There's no armor pieces.
Oh.
There's no heavy metal plating.
Wow. Okay.
The metal plating is actually between the cowl. Like inside the cowl, there's a layer of like the fabric, and then there's a metal plating in the head.
Huh.
Where he has the communicator and where he has the voice modulator.
Interesting.
So yeah.
So he's not. Where is she? Where is
No,
she?
it's more like. Let's see. There's a line in the film where he says, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." So Christian Bale would have been like, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's spot
But
on.
Ben Affleck's is it's like, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." It's like raspy but yet robotic, but it's
Interesting.
more demonic. It's interesting though.
Yeah, that sounds kind of creepy.
I'm like genuinely terrified of Ben Affleck's Batman.
Damn. I like the way that sounds though. I like kind of creepy atmospheric stuff, and if the voices, as if that was a perfect impression you just did for me, Daniel, I'm all about it.
Oh, why, of course. I am but a faithful servant to impressions. But yeah, I highly recommend checking out the 3-hour version.
3-hour version, not just the regular version. Is that worth watching at all?
No.
No.
I mean, you can pause it. But yeah, I think it's worth watching. But yeah, any other news sticking out from you from there?
Suicide Squad's looking pretty good. I'm kind of excited for that. I like I didn't follow
That's for sure.
I didn't follow it too much when it was kind of first announced, and then it's
Suicide
trimmed in
Squad's looking
stages.
great.
But now with these trailers they're putting out and just kind of seeing more press from the cast, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because what completely overly sold me was they started releasing clips now from the actual film,
Right.
and listening to the dialogue and listening to the way they interact, I was like, "Oh snap! Everyone's committing 100% to these characters, and not necessarily like even because one of my things is I'm afraid Will Smith is just gonna be Will Smith playing Deadshot,
Right.
But it seems like he was really committing to what the script was giving him.
Yeah. I mean that's huge if the actors are just all in on the characters. I mean that's just the biggest part. So I mean this may be I said, I don't see movies very often, let alone superhero movies, but this may be one I see. It's looking pretty good.
Mm. Now, did you see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy, I did not see any of that. I did not see the first movie. I did not see any press for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I know that the tree is like a meme. Groot.
Yeah.
So,
Fun little critter.
as long as there's a meme in a movie, then it has been cemented into film history. That's why Shrek has the legacy it has.
That is true.
Which is why Shrek 5 is being made.
Oh, of course.
Shrek 5 and Puss in Boots 2. Did you know that?
Sequel to the classics, honestly. Continuing a legacy. That's really what it is.
Okay, let's move off of Shrek and let's move to something that doesn't seem like it's going to be having the legacy that it needs to. We're going to talk about the Nintendo NX. This is news that broke today, so I'm kind of happy that we're talking about it today because it's kind of fresh for both of us. If you guys don't know, Nintendo NX is the next console, or at least we thought, that Nintendo's going to release after the failure of the Wii U. And I say failure because it was, sales-wise, and the games that came out. Or more so, the lack of games that came out. Nintendo, when was the Wii U released? Was that 2013? Let me see.
I believe so. Don't quote your boy.
The Wii U was released in November 18th, 2012. So it's been 3 full years, 3.5-ish. And they're already moving on to the next console. That shows you how poorly the Wii U did. And it was Nintendo's fault. It was underpowered compared to the PS4 and Xbox One that came out the year after. And the games, it had no third-party support. The third-party support it did have was nothing noteworthy. And the first-party titles were not even noteworthy. Of course, the new Mario Kart was fun. The new Smash Bros. Was fun. I don't even know what else. There was a Pikmin. Pikmin was
Bayonetta
good.
2?
Bayonetta 2. I mean, that was somehow a Wii U exclusive. I don't know how they got that, but I'm glad they did.
No clue.
Because that gave them a little bit of life.
Yeah.
And sorry if I'm coming off as very negative about Nintendo. I just think they have so much potential, and they just have been not making good business decisions for, when was the Wii U released? 2012? For about 4 years now. 5 years when they decided to design the Wii U. So the NX, this is a report by Eurogamer. This came out today.
Right.
And they just have a bunch of sources giving them some credible information about the NX. So let's just start from the top of this article and move down. The link is in the description, of course, so if you want to click on it, there's some pictures with kind of some concepts to visualize what we're talking about here. So the biggest part about the NX that was released was that it's like a handheld console thing. So the concept image here, it looks like the Wii U controller where it has a screen in the middle. It looks like that, but the two the joysticks or the analog sticks on the sides, those detach into two controllers. I'm assuming the same way that the Wiimote and the Nunchuck worked, where you have one in each hand and you use them simultaneously. That's what it looks like. And then you take the screen and you put it on a dock, and that projects it onto the TV. Not project, but streams it onto the TV. So it's made to be portable, but it would be about the size of a tablet, roughly. And then you take it home, put it on a dock, and play it. Now here's the problem with that. That means these games have to be, I don't want to say scaled down, but they have to be able to run on a portable system, which will never be as powerful as say a PC or a console, because they have to fit it into this box that you hold in your hands. So let's just take the new Zelda game, for example. What is it? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That game, I mean, it looked beautiful from the E3 gameplay they showed. You're telling me that it's going to look like PS4, Xbox One quality on a portable system? I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. And that's what's worrying me. I mean, you look at the GameCube. The GameCube didn't do anything new graphically, but it just did it right. It wasn't even necessarily trying to be anything more powerful, I guess, because they've always used the more colorful art scheme instead of trying to have those realistic graphics, which gives them a little bit
relied on art design.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit more of an excuse to not have as powerful graphics, because the art or the presentation gives them that advantage. But at this point, they've got to step their game up. The PS4 and Xbox One have been out for, I guess, 3 years. PCs are PCs. They will always look as good as they do.
Oof.
There's no excuse at this point to have an underpowered home console. I don't think there's any way that you can convince me to buy this when I got these other systems that look twice as good, can run twice as well.
Right.
And I mean, I said home console. Apparently this is a portable home console, you know? So that's even more worrisome. And I think Nintendo is banking too much on their presentation in these games, and they're banking too much on their decades-old franchises. If their Marios don't do well for one console, God forbid, I don't see how Nintendo can't even keep that console alive.
Yeah, that's what I never understand, because they're not really putting any focus into creating something new. They rely so heavily on legacy. And I think we're getting to the point where we're getting to generations where we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, nostalgia isn't everything.
Right. Now, I will give them credit. They released Splatoon on the Wii U. That was an original IP. That was a good game. It was a third-person shooter, but of course, Nintendo, it was, you're a squid person and you shoot with
Oh yeah,
paint
that game.
or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a good original IP. So I'd like to see them continue that with the NX. But you can't have 6 games on a console. You know, you can't have your first-party games only and expect to stay afloat. You need the third-party support, and Nintendo has never had third-party support for their home consoles, at least for, I would venture to say, the Wii and forward. The GameCube had great third-party support. I think the Wii is where it started really going downhill, and the Wii U was almost non-existent.
Right.
So that's just the first part. That's like 2 or 3 paragraphs of the story. So let's continue on down here.
Go ahead.
So the processor chip that they're using, this is basically the core of the console's power, is from NVIDIA. It's the Tegra mobile processor. Good. Whatever. That's great. Another report, which I like this more so just from a collector's standpoint. I don't know if there's any benefits to it technically. The report is that they're going back to cartridges instead of disc. And again, there's a concept image here that's in this article that's supposed to be like a vintage Game Boy cartridge with Breath of the Wild artwork on it. I doubt if they did cartridges it would look like that. I would venture to say they'd be a little bit more like DS cartridges, bigger, something along those lines. But I do think cartridges kind of open up the playing field for more artwork or collector's items. You know, there was always the standard gray or the black. No, they were gray. The gray Nintendo 64 cartridges. But you had the gold or the yellow Donkey Kong Country. You had the gold Ocarina of Time. So these cartridges themselves were physically artwork. Like, because I don't really consider the discs anymore to be artwork. You know, like they're not really. They don't really concern themselves with the disc artwork too much. But cartridges are physical pieces of art, which just adds a whole nother level to why physical media will always have a place.
No.
So after the cartridges, and again, for people worried about that, you gotta remember that hard drive space is a lot cheaper than it was 10 years ago. So you can fit a lot more memory into a smaller place than you could back then into a cartridge. And it may be cheaper to make cartridges. Who knows? I'm assuming, granted, I don't think
Nintendo. Yeah, because that's such a strange thing to me. I don't know why.
Yeah. And
it's very
off-putting.
off-putting.
I don't think Nintendo's been doing very much right recently, but I would hope that they have a reason to do this other than the artwork, because I love the artwork, but I also care about the performance of these games. Let's see what else here. It's not an Android system, which is kind of a relief, because at what point do we have enough Android home consoles? I mean, there was the Ouya, if you remember that attempt at a console.
I do.
That little cube that, you know, they talk about how there'd be Minecraft and everything on it, and then it came out and
wasn't it like they wouldn't let him into E3, so he had to make a stand across the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like a year later at conventions they were literally giving out the Ouyas like for free to people walking by. So that's why I was worried about this being an Android console, because that wouldn't be a Nintendo console to me if it ran on Android, you know? And this is relieving news, because they are making a new operating system by Nintendo for the NX. I like that. I think that's a good decision on their part. It allows them to optimize it exactly how they want it. That's just smart. Other than that, I mean, you guys can read the rest of this article. There's some more technicalities. There will be digital downloads and physical media. probably the last part that's kind of discussion worthy is this report says that there will not be backwards compatibility. I'm assuming that's referring to Wii U backwards compatibility because the Wii U can't play Wii games. So I'm guessing the NX can't play Wii U or Wii. Here's why that is a huge issue. Okay? So let's say you bought a Wii U on launch. That thing's only 3.5 years old. It's probably covered in dust because Nintendo has not given you a reason to play it. The Nintendo NX comes out, first quarter of next year. So the Wii U's 4 years old at that point, roughly. And there's this brand new Nintendo NX that's supposed to be this portable home console that's somehow as powerful, if not more powerful than the Wii U. I'll believe it if I see it. If I see it. At that point, is Nintendo marketing this NX as a replacement for a Wii U or like a sister console to the Wii U? Like encourage you to have both? I think
it's going to be a sister console, to be honest.
And that's such a terrible decision.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox and PlayStation, they're talking about releasing their more powerful systems. And that would be when you put in a disc for a PS4 game, it detects if you have the more powerful system. And if you do, then it allows you to access the new processing or the graphics or particle effects or whatever. It allows you to have access to new features. Let's say that Nintendo's trying to do this with the Wii U and NX, that if you put in the disc, if it's on the Wii U, you only have these many features, but if it's on the NX, you have these premium features. The NX cannot be that much more powerful than the Wii U. So how are these features going to be worth buying this system? That's why I think having no backwards compatibility forces these people to keep their 4-year-old console, which you guys gotta understand is not old. That is not an old console. PlayStation, they were 8 or 9 years from release to launch a PS4 into the PS3 or something like that. So 4 years of a console from, let's just call it what it is. This is the death of the Wii U when the NX comes out. For 4 years, that is a very short lifespan for a console. So if Nintendo's going to sit here and encourage you to replace the Wii U with the NX and not allow you to play your Wii U games when the console is as young as it is and was as poorly supported as it was, that's an insult to your consumers, I think. Now, if they had released just AAA after AAA with some third-party support, like Game of the Years on the Wii U, first of all, it would not have only lasted 4 years. We would not even be talking about the next Nintendo system. But if it did somehow fail in 5 years, and you have all these great games on it, and they encourage you to buy the new console, I would only hope that they would allow you to play those games on the new console. But maybe that's the downside to having this NX that only uses the cartridges and is supposed to be mobile. And when you take it home, you're only supposed to put it on a dock. I'm saying it cannot be on par with the PS4 or Xbox One. The NX cannot be on par with those systems, and for those reasons, the NX will fail again.
Because that's what we're looking for from Nintendo, is something new. That's what I think they're failing to realize. Like looking at them, it's like, I wonder what their board meetings are like. Is it just a bunch of people in a room? They're like, we need a new handheld. No.
Well, it sounds like their conferences or their meetings, it's just more of like just reassurance, telling themselves that everything's going great. Because if
Nintendo's better than ever.
If they had realized that their console was failing and wanted to do something about it, they would have done something about it. They would have released some games and made it worth playing. They would have made the console powerful enough to compete with the PS4 and Xbox One. And they would have made it powerful enough for third parties to make their games for it. But they didn't. That's laziness. That's just poor marketing. They said, we made billions of dollars off the Wii. Let's just make a new Wii. And that wasn't the right thing to do. They needed a new system. If they wanted to make a new Wii, call it the Wii 2. Keep the same controller design, make the console more powerful. But that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted to make the Wii U with a damn screen on the controller and amiibos. That's what they wanted with the Wii U. They did not want more powerful and better games. They wanted amiibos, which is going great for them. They're making plenty of money off amiibos. But when was the last time you saw Nintendo win a Game of the Year edition, you know? Or a Game of the Year award? And I think that speaks volumes.
It's just kind of sad. It's just really, really sad, honestly, because it's just like, you can do better. It's like watching a family member who's older than you, and it's just like, come on, man, get your life together. Get out the house.
Right.
Quit doing the same things.
Because that family member used to be jacked and had a 6-figure salary.
Yeah.
And now they just stay home, maybe go to a family cookout every once in a while. That's Nintendo. Nintendo is the disgruntled family member.
Nintendo's got a beer belly.
Yes. I mean,
it's real sad.
You bring up a good point. It's like, you just look at the history of Nintendo and how they arguably invented modern gaming as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at them now. What happened? When did they lose their way?
It's just, like I said, eventually when you rely too much on nostalgia, it runs out. It really does run out.
I mean, even the Wii, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are incredible games.
Mm-hmm. Some people consider it some of the best games ever made.
And I would too. I would put them on the top 100 list in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
What has what has the Wii U brought to the table that even comes close, that even makes you consider best game ever made?
Oh man, the dual screens when you're playing your game with the Star Fox Zero, which is like a
3-hour
terrible
long
carbon
game.
copy
Yeah.
of the original game. And it's just an on-rail shooter. It's really sad.
How
It's
about
really
this?
sad.
All right, think about the GameCube. What are the first-party, fantastic GameCube games that were released? You got Luigi's Mansion. You got Mario Kart Double Dash. You got Super Mario Sunshine.
Ooh.
Super Mario Bros. Brawl. Or Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You had Kirby's Air Ride. You had some Kirby games on there that were really phenomenal. And you look at the third-party support, Resident Evil 4, for some reason, seems like a GameCube game. People kind of associate it with the GameCube. That's why it was ported to the Wii as early as it was. You've got kind of more obscure games like Killer 7, which are kind of more experimental in a way.
Right.
The GameCube is a phenomenal console, and it was nothing special in terms of power. It was the games that gave it so much life. And then you look at the Wii. You got Mario Galaxy on there. I didn't like the Mario Kart on the Wii. Doesn't mean everyone else didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You had Wii Sports. I mean, it was packed in, but it's the best-selling game of all time, which you could argue because the Wii U sold so well and it was packed in, blah, blah, blah. But that game is fun.
It was fun.
And it was
still is fun.
And it was a masterful display of what the Wii is supposed to be. It's supposed to be motion controls that everyone can comprehend. And that's what Wii Sports did. It made it very easy to understand how to use the Wii's motion control. That's the beauty of the Wii. They had such a good release. Granted, the consoles were very limited, and it was hard to get them, and they were in demand, but it was affordable. I mean, your grandparents could play it, and your baby sister could play it. The Wii was accessible, and it was affordable. But the games, there was a lot of shovelware on the Wii. A lot of game show games and Disney Channel games and educational games. Kind of stuff that you don't find on Xbox, PS3, you know?
Right.
But the library is still relatively solid. Now let's look at the Wii U. right?
Hmm.
Can you name a standout Wii U game?
Smash was all right.
Smash was all right.
Bayonetta 2 looked really amazing, though. I do have to say that. And I really wish I could play that game.
That's the only example of like worthwhile third-party support on Bayonetta 2. I know a lot of people liked Wonderful 101 that came out in the launch window. But Bayonetta 2 is really the third-party game that kind of stuck. And they did have, I think it's called The Devil's Third, which is like a really gory, M-rated game. But when that game finally came out, the reviews were pitiful. So people were just excited to have this gory game on a Nintendo console. And that's why they wanted it so bad. But when it came out, I was like, oh, maybe it's on the Nintendo console because they couldn't get it on the other consoles.
No one else wanted it.
Right. No one wanted to publish it except Nintendo.
You know, this sounds like a eulogy that we're giving for Nintendo.
I mean, unfortunately.
But this could be, you know, Steve Jobs' situation where he's pulling, you know, the black cube and they're like, oh, dude, this is going to fail. And he's like, we know this is going to fail, but I have to do this because we're working on something better, you know?
Right.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be optimistic. But yeah, I'm not liking the sound of this.
Nintendo,
are these reports confirmed?
These are reports. Nintendo has not confirmed anything. But these are reports. Some of these rumors have been floating around for a while.
Right.
And Eurogamer, from kind of who they are and the way they're writing this, it implies credibility with these sources. And it confirms some of these rumors that have already existed for a while.
All right.
The thing is, Nintendo is not going anywhere. They're not going out of business by any means. They are still the kings of portable gaming. The 3DS, I mean, any DS that they've released sells a ridiculous amounts. And their portable titles are really, really good. It just seems like they've... I don't want to... I think they've stopped caring about trying to be competitive in the console market. I don't think they care about the console market anymore. I think they're kind of using the console, the Wii U, and it looks like the NX, just to kind of subconsciously advertise their 3DS. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo had a good week a few weeks ago with Pokemon Go coming out. Granted, they only published it, or the Pokemon Company published it. Nintendo didn't even publish it directly. Now the Pokemon Company is a part of Nintendo, and they released or they announced the NES Retro, whatever it was called. It's that console that comes with 30 NES games built into it with a controller and an HDMI cable, and it's $60. And it was officially licensed, like, first party from Nintendo. That was smart. That was very smart that they did that. And I would imagine they'll only do it again with the SNES.
Right.
So they had that strong week. I was like, hell yes, Nintendo's back. Like, their corporate... their corporate heads, like, they woke up like, oh shit, we have not been doing too hot lately.
What is happening?
And then I think they went back to sleep because they realized it requires work and effort. They're like,
yeah, because I'm just like, Microsoft is a perfect example right now of looking at the future of gaming, and then being like, oh no, we were just analyzing. What we need to do is put our ear to the ground and listen to people.
Right.
Listen to people. Find out what is plausible. Find out what they want. Figure out what we can do and what we want to do to push the industry forward.
Yeah. Microsoft, you got to give them props. They've been working hard to get their reputation in check.
Because Xbox One was not made to be backwards compatible at all.
No, if
but
you remember,
they put in the assets. They didn't even know if it would work, but they put in the work
E3,
to make it happen.
they were talking about how it had to be always online, and there was that interview with, I think, the Angry Joe show, and he says, will you ever disable always online? And it was what was that dude's name? Major Nelson. And he says, well, you can't just turn a switch. Like this smart ass remark. And a few months later, guess what? They turned a switch. And it's not always online. I mean, granted, Major Nelson, he's working for... Where's he working? He's working for like a Facebook game or something. Oh, God. I need to look this up. Because he's like in a leadership position, but it's not nearly where he was in terms of like, you know, like.
That's a lesson, folks, for all you listening. Be humble.
Was it? No, it was Don Matrick. It was Don Matrick, I think. I'm getting these names confused. Don Matrick was the dude, I think, that was presenting at E3. He was kind of the face of it, and then he just... his PR was terrible after the fact. Oh yeah, he went to Zynga. And Zynga,
the good old Zynga.
What did they develop? It was like, I feel like it was like a Nintendogs type thing. They did Farmville.
I mean, he's making money.
They did Farmville and Words with Friends.
Yeah.
So he went from Xbox to Zynga. I mean, he was still making money, but...
It's about creative control.
Right,
Phil.
right. I just can't... He knows what he's doing, man. He knows what he's
doing. He needs his input for that corn DLC they got going on, the sweet corn DLC.
But the reason we're talking about that, if you guys forgot, is because we're giving credit to Xbox where credit is due. Mm-hmm. They're working hard, and they have definitely turned themselves around, and they are right on Sony's trail. I mean, the PS4 was selling 2-1 at one point, outselling the Xbox 2-1. And now there's been months where Xbox One outsells PS4.
Yeah.
Which, again...
And it's just like, they stepped their game up. And Xbox is always going to have a place in my heart.
Right. Same with Marvel and DC we were just talking about. Competition between companies only benefits the consumer. Mm-hmm. So when you got Xbox trying to be better than Sony, and Sony trying to be better than Xbox, we're just going to have a lot of good games to play.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Empty wallets.
And then Nintendo will be over here like, oh, we got a new Mario Kart.
this gonna be amazing.
We got Pokemon Snap too.
We're gonna put so much into Pokemon Go.
I guess there's really nothing else to say about Nintendo and the NX.
It's just, I hope that these rumors will just, or that these confirmations just be, Nintendo will be like, nah, fam, we got you, JK, happy pre-April Fools.
Now this,
but, I highly doubt it.
Really, really early April Fools.
I know.
Now,
yeah,
Eurogamer's story says that they're doing an official console reveal in September, and it's set for a March release. So in 2 months, I guess that works. We'll be back here talking about either how Nintendo pleasantly surprised us, or gave us exactly what we thought.
Yep.
Which would not be good.
Nope.
And just to clarify, I don't hate Nintendo. I just hate bad business. And Nintendo is personifying bad business. When you look at the licenses they have and the brand, everyone knows Mario. Everyone knows the question mark block. Everyone knows Nintendo. When you just look at who they are, what they've got access to, and you look at how little they're putting into it, it's just a little disheartening. It's hard not to be apathetic about Nintendo at this point.
It is.
And I want them to turn it around. I want them to prove me wrong. I just don't think they will.
Probably not. Get up off that couch, Uncle Nintendo. Get up off that couch. Speaking of being on couches, because they're so darn comfortable, Will, what have you been eating this week?
What was the best thing I ate? Shoot.
Oh, God.
I don't know. What was the best thing you ate?
For me, it was last night. We had Chinese again. Oh. That'd be 2 weeks in a row in this podcast that Chinese is the best thing I ate. But we had pineapple rice that this place called Chai Tai in Harris Teeter makes. Delicious. Delicious pineapple rice. I love rice, and it just tastes so great. It's probably my favorite thing I had.
Well, the best thing I had, I had some good pizza. I mean, nothing really,
Nice.
nothing really outrageous or anything. It was just good pizza.
Right.
It's from this pizza place they've like changed their name 3 times in a year. So I honestly couldn't even like hype them up right now because I don't know what they'll be called tomorrow. I could give you the coordinates.
Wait, where's this place at?
It's in the Promenade, that shopping center.
Oh, the Promenade. Oh,
yeah,
oh,
kind of near
it's like right up the street.
like off Providence Road. You know what I'm talking about?
Good Lord, I can't remember.
But yeah, like I said, I can give you the GPS coordinates.
Right. Yeah. I'm like up the street from there.
Speaking of coordinates, we're gonna a little out of order and also not related to the segue at all. Collector's item of the week. So, your appetizer is just a cool shirt. That's all it is.
Oh, my bad there.
Let me send this to you.
Go ahead.
Bioshock. Now, Irrational Games, they developed Bioshock. They are now disbanded. They don't make games anymore. All the developers kind of went their separate ways on good terms. They just wanted to do their own thing. Totally respectable. But their
Dad, no.
Their store is still very, very active with new items. Because Bioshock is a very recognizable franchise. There's a lot of merchandise opportunity there, and they're taking advantage of it, which is very smart for them. But this shirt, it has just this really cool, like, kind of Roaring 20s-esque look to this artwork on it. And the reason I like this shirt so much is it's a video game shirt, but it's also like, I mean, you could wear this with like some khaki pants and like nice shoes, and like it'd be a nice outfit. Like, usually game shirts are kind of a little cheesy to me, but this seems like something I'd legitimately wear. So that's why I made it the appetizer this week.
No, I would. I'd wear my white Vans, aka my damn Daniels.
Right.
With them.
Oh, that would look good.
Yeah, my khakis.
Yeah. So that's your appetizer. The reason it's your appetizer is because the other thing. Hold on. I'm gonna do some math real quick. The other thing, 650 divided by 24. The other thing is 20.
I wish I had one for Colombia.
27 times more expensive, the entree. So this is like asking for ordering an ice cube, and then a filet mignon. Okay. For $650, you can get if you're gonna drop 24 on a shirt, what's another $650? You know. But this is from Gaming Heads.
I know, right?
They have Gaming Heads makes really, really high quality statues. So you gotta give them credit. And from my understanding, they're handmade, hand painted, and very limited. This is the Bioshock Rosie, which is one of the Big Daddy designs. The Rosie exclusive statue.
This thing is gorgeous.
It's incredible. It has, and we'll put it up on the screen here. Anyone who's played Bioshock knows that the kind of the headlamp in the Big Daddy helmets reflects their emotion. So if it's yellow, they're neutral. They're just guarding the little sister, and if it's red, you pissed it off, and you're in for a fight. And this LED changes to whatever you want. The cool thing about Gaming Heads, they put a lot of pictures in their gallery. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a whole lot of pictures with every angle of the statue imaginable. And it's really cool because these statues show like the texture of the little sister's dress and the material made for the Big Daddy suits. I mean, they're really highly detailed. And if you just look at the detail on the gun and kind of the rust on the helmet.
This is amazing.
I mean, yeah, it's a very nice statue. So you can kind of understand why it is $650 goddamn dollars. It's a lot. So let me just give you some of the specs for this thing. It's limited to 500 pieces.
Look at that.
It's 21 inches tall. This is a 1/4 scale of Rosie. So 21 inches. It's like, I'm not going to do the math on that one. Big Daddies are big. The Rosie.
He's a big boy.
The diving helmet changes to green, yellow, and red. You can change the color. You can choose which color it shows. They're hand numbered. They come in deluxe full color packaging, as it says here. Certificate of authenticity. It's really, it doesn't show the weights. I would love to see how much this thing weighs. Let's see. It comes out Q4 of this year. Limited to 500 pieces. It has, I mean, it lists the artist. So this is an artist designed this, and this is hand designed, handmade, hand painted, everything. These things are so expensive that Gaming Heads offers.
It's really gorgeous.
They're
actually nice enough to give you a payment plan.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. They know these are expensive as they are. They offer you a payment plan. For 3 months, you can pay $150 a month, and then at the end of that, you pay the final balance. And when you buy these things, you get, if you look right below the add to cart thing, it says you will earn 650 credits for purchasing this. So they have a loyalty program where when you buy these things, you get credits. I assume you can use these credits to get discounts on future items. And the thing is, so this is $650 for this one, but if you look at all the other statues Gaming Heads has, which they have a lot of nice ones. They have Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, God of War, Team Fortress 2, Doom, Skyrim, Fallout. I mean, they have a lot of licenses under their belt. They're usually $200-$300, if not $150.
Good God.
So 650 credits could probably help you out a lot. So it's good that they're giving you kind of this reward for paying such a hefty price. This is something where when I'm rich, I will be buying 8 of these. And the way we were talking about the Chewbacca totem pole, I will be making a Rosie totem pole for my room.
Look at you go. Dream big, Will. I really wish they had things from Bioshock Infinite, like the bird or things like that. Because Infinite is my favorite, because that's the only one I've played.
They don't have
fully.
the songbird, but I'm going to send you a link to the Bioshock, all the Bioshock statues they've made. They're making some for Elizabeth right now.
Okay.
And I know if you go to Irrational Store, they have some more Elizabeth statues from Burial at Sea in that costume.
Okay.
So I would imagine. Shoot, I want to say there's somewhere where you could buy like the tower that Elizabeth is in, that Statue of Liberty-esque building.
Ooh.
You can buy a replica of that.
That's nice.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. So Daniel, what are you thinking? You gonna buy this, Big Daddy?
It's looking pretty sweet, man. Like when I am able enough to afford collector's items like this, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Because I saw they had like the Hot Toys for like Suicide Squad, and those look amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm really getting an affinity for these just realistic, highly detailed figures.
Yeah, dude.
So it's tempting. My wallet's itching.
And anything Bioshock, I'm all about it. Bioshock is my favorite franchise of all time. I think Bioshock 1 is one of the most transformative and revolutionary games ever made. I think it is one of the best games ever made, if not the best game ever made. Granted, I like Bioshock 2 better, and you may ask, how can you say Bioshock 1's the best game ever made, but you like Bioshock 2 better? I just like the gameplay better, but I think Bioshock 1 was just... It was unique. It was such a revolutionary game. The mechanics and the meshing of RPG and first-person shooter and adventure elements all into one. The story, the atmosphere, the voice acting, the presentation. I mean, it was just so flawless. It's just such a good game. And
one of these days, I'll finish it.
Dude, get the Bioshock collection when it comes out. It's coming out in October. It comes with Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite with all the DLC. 60 frames a second. I will buy that, and I will play one game a day.
Good Lord, man.
I've been watching Bioshock Let's Plays lately. I am so excited for that collection. And it's not even anything new. It's just the Bioshock games. It's just an excuse to play them again. That's how much I love these games. I could talk for hours about Bioshock alone.
Oh dear. It's your Batman. It's your Batman.
It is. It is, yeah. So to recap, your appetizer was the Bioshock Rapture Deco t-shirt for $24 plus shipping and handling. And your entree is the Bioshock Big Daddy Rosie exclusive statue for $650 or $150.
Would you kindly go ahead and get those, guys? Would you kindly?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Good one. So that's all I got. And I've already said I had good pizza.
That is true.
You got everything you wanted out of me. Let me free.
Let me go, man.
Let my people
anything
go.
else you want to recommend to the people? Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. Watch Stranger Things on Netflix, guys. I cannot recommend it enough.
I will be going to, this week, I'm going to Wilmington for a Shaky Graves concert. So if any of you guys listen to him, I'm excited for that. I will report back. Actually, by the time we record the next episode, I'll already be moved back into school. So I'll be reporting to you from my campus.
The gasp.
I'll let you know what the Pokemon Go game is like up there.
Ooh. Let me know. Pokemon game week is strong. We have to know.
You got Pokemon Go, right?
But then I immediately deleted it, yeah.
Ah.
I burnt through all my data before I had gotten it. I was at like 2 out of 2.5, and I was like, psh, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then I was like on the road, and I was like, dang, dude, I gotta watch this review. So it was on YouTube, and it was like, you've used up all your data. I was like, God, why?
Why have you forsaken me?
Why art thou forsaken me? This is so sad. Oh yeah, that's what I endured.
I feel it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 5 of the Weekly Geekly podcast. We'd like to thank you all so much for joining us. And remember, guys, hit that like button if you've enjoyed the episode, if you like the promos, all these things. And guys, comment. We love to hear your comments about what you think about these topics and what you think about the podcast overall. Will, before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to say?
Thank you guys for watching. I say it every episode, but we keep making progress towards that 1,000 subscriber mark, so we are very appreciative of that. We'll try to think of something special to do once we're there. But just thank you for watching, rating, commenting, just all that good stuff. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Daniel.
I've been Will.
And don't forget to get geeky.